Welcome to Inside Sim Racing. I'm Billy Strange, and in this edition of Test Drive, I will be racing RaceRoom's recently released NSU Prinz TTS at Zandvoort. I am currently using a GT Omega ART chassis with a T300 base, 599 Evo rim, T3PA Pro pedals, TH8A Shifter, all from Thrustmaster, and the button box I'm using is by Next Level, and it bolts directly to the T300 or TX base. As you've probably noticed, I've had to feather the clutch quite a bit off the line. These cars don't have a lot of horsepower, so it tends to bog the motor if you want to just dump the clutch. I enjoy running RaceRoom, and this is no exception, especially running against the AI. I've put the AI at 111%. Gives quite a bit of challenge, especially with these cars. These cars are all about rolling momentum, not killing the car, getting into the turn, getting the thing to push slightly off the turn, but not too much so you're scrubbing too much speed, and little contact there, but no worse for wear. These cars to me would be pretty fun in a race like this, or perhaps even in a multiplayer race where those people that enjoy the lowered horsepower of these cars, they get a chance to shine. Keeps the pack close, and I believe it will utilize driver quite a bit. It'll emphasize being smooth and getting your braking and throttle inputs clean. You can, as you'll notice me do several times in this video, you can sling the car around. It'll back the brake in loose. I'm running at 720 degrees of rotation, which is what they say the car runs at. But the front end is so positive, you definitely feel like you can snap the back end. You give it a little flick going in with the wheel, especially if you drop the throttle and get that back end to unhook. Zandvoort is also one of my favorite tracks. I thought I'd try these cars out on here. It has a nice blend of bank turns, some sharp corners as I, in case in point, flick it sideways because drove in too hard. And then you can see I lose all kinds of ground because there's just not a bunch of horsepower to make up with these cars. And your speed is very line dependent. If you take a corner wrong, you've got to wait to get on the throttle, which these cars will get an on-throttle push. The guys in front of you just start marching away from you. Completed our first lap there, and we're running fifth. But anyway, like I was saying about Zandvoort, I just love, especially this section right here. It banks real hard, and then you've got this nice left-right section through here with a hard left-hand bank turn, and then the S's. Track just has a nice flow to it and incorporates a lot of elements which I particularly enjoy. Wait for the throttle there just a little bit. Try to let the car roll out on exit. Try not to kill all that rolling speed you just gained coming off the turn. Holding it down, which is easy to do with this car. The front end does grab, so it's easy not to let the car roll out, especially if you miss your apex point just a little bit. And as you can see, I completely missed my braking zone. And by the way, these cars don't have good brakes. Just letting you know that right now. You will stomp the pedal and they just kind of go, oh, is that what you want to do? A thought of brake. Especially when you get to the other side of the track and hit that right-left combination, with that left being that tight turn, it definitely does not want to slow down too well. Again, every time I feel like I make a gain, I lose some on the cars in front of me, and that is, I'm still trying to understand the car. I'm still trying to figure out. All they did was like one practice race just to kind of understand what the car was doing. I dialed in a little more front brake because it's typically what I like to do. It just stabilizes the car a little more for me under braking. And then I ran a qualifying session. I qualified 9th, if you didn't notice on the front screen. And now we're riding in 5th because I basically got everybody off the start. So I'm just trying to analyze, I'm trying to understand, I get in the rhythm, and it's hard, for whatever reason, not to overdrive these cars. Fastest lap by the AI was a 2:16, and looks like I ran a 2:10. It's neither 2/10 off the mark there. And right there, I cranked the wheel too hard, started to get on the throttle. Back end started to come out a little bit, so I rolled out of the throttle, and then I didn't let the car roll out. So anything I gained going into that corner, I completely lost. The guy in front of me goes wide there. I touched the curb and then decide to stab the throttle, which is the exact thing not to do in that situation, which makes the front end push wide. And now they are slowly creeping away from me. You know, I probably bit off more than I could chew, putting at 111% on the AI, but that's okay. I wanted a good challenge. I didn't want it to be like a walk in the park when I showed you guys this video. Apparently, just a few mistakes and they start walking away from you. This is always an awkward corner for me too. It's not an easy corner to see around. It's fairly flat. You've got to do a late apex, and you can often miss that fairly easy. This is another fairly awkward corner as well. RaceRoom also has one of the best, in my opinion, engine sounds in the genre. So the car too much there bogged the motor down, which doesn't do us any favors in trying to catch the 4 cars in front of us. Let it roll all the way out, touch the curb just a little bit, and just try to be real smooth through this turn. You can really kill a lot of speed if you're sawing the wheel too hard. You can see the leader just ran a 2:09, so now they're about approximately a second a lap faster. And we've got 1 lap left in the race. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I thought it was kind of a cool little car to play with. And I think this is something that actually would be pretty fun in a multiplayer race, because, once again, I think the drivers that are going to do well at this will excel at being smooth with your throttle and brake inputs and your steering inputs. And it's fairly line dependent in keeping that said rolling speed up. So I'm going to sign out here. This is going to play out. There's a little tiny brief snippet of a replay at the very end. If you want to watch that, please do. And yeah, again, if you have any suggestions for our test drive series, leave a comment below. You can also visit the isrtv.com forums and make a suggestion in the test drive section there. Making it this far, I appreciate you watching the video. Click that like button if you would, if you enjoyed this episode. I hope you did. And I will talk to you guys in the next video. Take care.